So when I first came to KUNA, I was absolutely terrified. I was a total newbie and I was so scared of messing up, but what made it so much easier was how welcoming the people were. I have never been a part of a community that is so welcoming and so willing to learn about others and put time into learning about me. I have learned innumerable lessons through KUNA, but my first was how to be open-minded and extend the curiosity first invested into me and to other people. I learned more about cultures and communities that I would never have even thought to explore. Being curious also has allowed me to connect with so many inspiring people and has helped me foster some of the strongest friendships that I don't know what I'd do without. Becoming more open-minded than I had been before has shown me that knowledge is power and to never stop learning, because ultimately, learning about other people and cultures can create so much more love and acceptance in our world.
Acceptance. Learning to open our minds to the ideas, beliefs, and values bouncing off of the people around us has made us more accepting of the perspectives that may differ from ours. Being curious about the opportunities that lie ahead and to the community members we work with has made us more encouraging. We are more accepting and aware of the different barriers each individual faces, be it economic, social, or even mental. By pushing ourselves to learn and embrace that which we are uncertain of, we have made ourselves vulnerable to the ideas of others. Now, we're able to remold ourselves, to be more willing, and to be open to those who are different than us. So, one last time, I ask you to stay curious. Stay open-minded. Stay inquisitive. Let yourself be vulnerable, for that is when true growth happens. And remember, your power lies in your passion to shape the world.
In order to shape the world with your passion, you must first find it. Some of you may already know that nuclear physics really gets you going. Others of you may just know that you like a good debate. Regardless of where you're at in this journey of passion that we call life, I believe that we can each find the source of our dreams through adventure. Take risks, make mistakes, but most importantly, don't be complacent. Act on your passion, because that is the true definition of curiosity. Just ask Katherine Johnson. Katherine, an African-American woman growing up in the era of segregation, single-handedly performed for NASA the mind-numbing calculations that enabled the first successful orbit of Earth. Katherine had a curiosity that propelled her to make her life's work an adventure of celestial proportions. Regardless of your age, gender, race, belief, sexual orientation, or any other background that people use to belittle you, it is your duty to reach for the stars. So whether you're enthralled by space or ardent about politics, whether this is your first Y conference or your last, you must find the passions that ignite your soul on fire and spread flames of curiosity throughout every fiber of your being. Live a life of adventure.
Curiosity thrives best when you expose yourself to new experiences. As you avidly pursue these adventures of the unknown, you will discover ideas you have never dreamed of and questions you have never considered. At last year's KUNA, I participated in Security Council for the first time. I didn't know much about the program, but I was curious about it, and I learned that the best way to satisfy that curiosity is to throw yourself in the middle of it. Needless to say, it was an adventure that led me to better understand my own capabilities, the situations of other nations, and the power of diplomacy. Though I ultimately found success in Security Council, I definitely had moments of confusion and embarrassment, during which I felt I was in over my head. Still, because I was able to push my own boundaries, and because I exposed myself to vulnerability, I gained a great deal of insight and found so many new things to be curious about. Being able to lead the program I grew to love was incredible, but not nearly as thrilling as the experience of being in totally uncharted territory and having to adapt. True success is made up of all the moments, failures, mistakes, epiphanies, people, and ideas you encounter on your lifelong pursuit of that which you are curious about. You must satiate your curiosity regardless of boundaries. Don't let anything hold you back. Let curiosity drive you, but drive yourself too. You are your own most powerful asset. Your mind has limitless boundaries, so chase them. On your journey, you will find knowledge and potential you would have never dreamed of otherwise. Letting yourself be vulnerable, being open to failure, and chasing new adventures gives you the freedom to explore and the curiosity to achieve anything you dream of.
Curiosity leads to freedom to live life how you choose. Freedom leads to breaking barriers, challenging accepted norms, and fighting for that same right to be given to others. Through freedom, individuals allow their curiosity to run wild with possibilities, paving the way for increased quality of life. More opportunities come to fruition, and potentially allowing them to go into the world and develop that same type of free, curious lifestyle among others. Without the freedom to challenge things as they are and to fight for positive change, true progress becomes nearly impossible. But by embracing curiosity and working together, freedom can flourish even in the darkest of times.
The freedom to speak your mind abounds with the possibility to craft your own voice. In a crowd of hundreds, your words can reverberate with the passion of global citizens on the cusp of making a difference. With every word you speak, your passion and your solutions build to monumental heights that can cross innumerable boundaries. Your voice can reach the ears of people across this state, across this nation, and across this globe. And yet, with every syllable you speak, questions arise to combat old answers. With the voice you craft, you construct your curiosity out of the complexity that exudes from the world we live in. But that curiosity will always be the star that guides your mind to new possibilities.
But how? How can you spread your ideas of curiosity? How can you take one simple concept and share that with millions of people across the world? How can you find a way to make such an immense change? The answer to this problem is a click of a button. You have the privilege of living in one of the most advanced countries in the world, where nearly everyone has the opportunity to use the easiest form of global communication, social media. With just one click of a button, your concept, idea, or opinion can be spread to billions of people across the world. With just one click of a button, you can update your friends who live thousands of miles away in a completely different country. Use this to your advantage. Use social media to show off your curiosity, to spread your ideas of curiosity, but to also absorb the ideas of others. You have the power to do this, but only you can choose to bring about this change. Find your will and you will find your way.
We can sit up here and tell you what we've done. We can try to tell you what to do. But ultimately, it is your decision on what you do with your curiosity. Find something that strikes a chord in you, and then give it everything you have. Find the intersection between you and ideas. And once you find that place, your power to do good will be unstoppable. Never reduce your life to the events you're facing right now. If you reduce your life to what you see right now, you will not be able to see what is ahead of you. Faith is the substance of the things hoped for, is the evidence of the things not seen. So you're hoping for things you haven't seen yet, but you never reduce the complexity of your life and the beauty of what you are to what your event is. You are not what you confront. You're much more bigger than that. If there's one thing that I hope each and every one of you take away from this experience, is that your curiosity has no boundaries. And who you are, and even however old you may be, your voice will never cease to be any less authentic than any other human being on this planet. Be smart, and then be vigilant. Be comfortable, and then be uncomfortable. Your life is your canvas, so paint it how you want to paint it. And one day, your life will become a beautiful poem.